Oh, hi. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome to the episode 1 of Tuesdays with Rusty. I probably should have said the buongiorno, since I like to talk today about rye whiskey and my favorite drink made from rye whiskey, Le Sazerac. A nice drink that has its origin in France and came up through New Orleans and now permeates the country. You can get a Sazerac just about anywhere, but not a good one. I'll tell you how to make a good one. Now, rye whiskey has been around for quite a long time. To be called rye whiskey, it's got to be 51% rye in the mash, just as bourbon has to be 51% corn. Otherwise, you can't call it rye whiskey. Now, a lot of Canadian whiskeys, which are blended, are called rye whiskeys, but that's a misnomer. Straight rye whiskey is what you want. And it's smooth, and it's great, and rye whiskey is the fastest growing spirit in the U.S. market. That's why a lot of high-end distilleries are in making rye now. Sazerac, of course, makes its own rye and always has. It's been around for hundreds of years. The rye whiskey was very popular in the Northeast, especially in the 1700s and 1800s, and actually Pittsburgh was the center of the rye distilling. My favorite rye is Old Overholt. Now, this is one of the few ryes to actually survive Prohibition. In fact, if you listen closely to an episode of Boardwalk Empire, you'll hear them mention the Overholt Distillery out in Pittsburgh. It's a great rye, very simple, least inexpensive, great tasting, and it's now manufactured, of course, in Kentucky, like most good whiskeys are. Now, when I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I was a young man cutting my teeth at a lot of dive bars, this is what I drank, Old Overholt. We used to call it Old Overcoat, especially in the winter, because it used to keep you warm when you had to walk home from the tap room. Now, Pennsylvania, as you know, is a very, or maybe you don't know, a very, very hard drinking state. I mean, bars open at 6 a.m. and truck drivers and other heavy equipment workers are in there having shots and beers before they get on the road. We used to pick my friend up at his house on school, and it was always a quart of beer on the table. Of course, this is pretty much a German, Pennsylvania Dutch area, and beer is a drink. Beer for breakfast was not unusual in many ethnic homes. So, this is how you make a Sazerac. This is how I do it. It's going to be great. Get a glass like this, plain glass. I got to get an ice cube out of the fridge here. There we go. And it goes into the glass. Now, first thing you do, now this is my Sazerac traveling pack. Has all the ingredients, you know, you can pick it up and take off, and you'll always have a Sazerac with you. Now, first thing you're going to add, a little simple syrup to taste. I don't like mine too sweet. Next thing you add are bitters. I'm kind of partial to McGee, you know, to Fee Brothers. Old-fashioned aromatic bitters, and I like a lot of bitters. Next thing you got to do, most important ingredient, that's the rye. You want to have yourself a nice strong drink, so you got to put in some rye whiskey. That looks like about right. And I put that back in the pack. Get out my spoon, stir that baby up. Just get that stuff mixed up well, chill it. It'll be great. Leave it there. Now I keep all my important glasses in the freezer. Now, if we're making a Sazerac for a woman, you might use a glass like this. I prefer mug style. Now here's the key ingredient. You got here a little spray bottle. This is absinthe. It's the best way to do it. I spray the glass liberally with absinthe, which is the unique ingredient in the Sazerac. You pour in your concoction into the glass, and there you go. I don't garnish. This is a terrific drink. In fact, I'm going to tell you how good it is. Let me taste it. Wow. My wife's going to like this. I'll have to make her one when as soon as I'm done here. Well, that was your French lesson for the day. Next Tuesday is going to be White Lightning Day. I'm going to talk to you about how white whiskey's made itself, earned a space on the shelf at a lot of liquor stores, and I know how to make a terrific moonshine and lemon drink. And we'll talk about that next Tuesday. It's snowing like hell out here now. I don't know. This is the perfect drink. 3 or 4 of these and I'll be ready to go shovel. Okay, listen, I gotta go.